Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Runners and riders for the Tetrasoft Inc. Bangalore St. Leger Grade 2 are on the way towards the starting gate. For Indian horses 4 years old and over, foaled in 2015. Now before distance run is 2,800 meters. Trophy is valued rupees 80,000, presented jointly by Messrs. Tetrasoft Inc. and Bangalore Turf Club Limited. Total prize money is 23,60,000. Winner will take home the trophy and rupees 11,56,517. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rama Ivani, COO Tetrasoft Inc. will present the Tetrasoft Inc. Bangalore St. Leger Grade 2 in the parade ring immediately after the white cone has been hoisted. So the public rage number 1 Desert God is the favorite here at 100 to 75 on. Next in demand is number 3 Salazar, 15 to 4. Number 6 Roberta at 6 to 1. Number 4 My Opinion 20 to 1. 1 at 100 to 75 on, 3 at 15 to 4, 6 to 1, 4 at 20 to 1. That's the latest betting trend here for this Tetrasoft Inc. Bangalore St. Leger Grade 2. Horses have reached the starting gate. Ran third behind Adjudicated in his last outing. Compact field of 6 runners will face the starter for this Tetrasoft sponsored Tetrasoft Inc. Bangalore St. Leger Grade 2. So further receiving support is number 1 Desert God at 10 to 7 on, number 3 Salazar at 4 to 1. Loading operations about to begin. My opinion, the first one to be stalled. Horses are being taken in. Reunion gets in. In the meanwhile, Salazar steps in. Reunion is loaded. Point to Prue is stalled. Desert God loaded, and the last one at the gates will be the blindfolded Rabata. Rabata steps in, that completes the line. All the 6 in the gates. You're all in. Status orders, and off they go for the Tetrasofting Bangalore St. Leger Grade 2 as they settle down, and it's Desert God the leader from Robert. That's the first 2 as they approach the 600 meter marker. My opinion is running third. Reunion, then comes Point to Prue. Salazar is running last. They take the first right-handed turn and approach the 400 meter marker for this Tetrasofting Bangalore St. Leger, with the Desert God heading the field, close to about 2.5 in front of Roberta. 3 lengths behind is My Opinion. Reunion comes next. Behind them will be Point to Prue. Salazar is running last. They travel towards the grandstand for the first time, and it's Desert God by about a length in front of Roberta. Further 4 lengths behind is My Opinion. Then comes Reunion, Point to Prue, and Salazar is taking the field. Passing the grandstand, approaching the 1800 meter marker, Desert God by about 2 2.25 in front of Roberta. 3 behind is My Opinion. Reunion, Point to Prue, Salazar in the order. They are racing in a single file as they approach the 1600 meter marker for this Tetrasoft Bangalore St. Leger, and it's still Desert God as the birds scatter out of the 1600. About 2 2.25 in front of Roberta. 3 behind is My Opinion. Then comes Reunion, Point to Prue, and still tailing the field is Salazar. Going past the backstretch at the 1400, and Desert God has now stepped up the moment to over 3.5 in front of Roberta in second. My Opinion is identical distance behind. 2 behind comes the next is Reunion with Point to Prue, and Salazar is running last. They start climbing up the hill as they go towards the 1000 meter marker, and Desert God it is, close to about 2 2.25 in front as they are heading towards the 900 meter marker from Roberta in second. 2 behind is My Opinion. Another length and a quarter is Reunion with Point to Prue and Salazar as they are heading towards the 700 meter marker. Not much of an appreciable change in the order, as the order remains the same, with Desert God in a start to finish attempt by about 2.5 3 in front of Roberta and second. My Opinion. Reunion, sensing some urgency, starting to bridge the gap on the outside, making a forward move as they begin to approach the final turn and enter the final 400 meters for this Bangalore St. Leger sponsored by Tetrasofting, and behind them will be Reunion. Then comes Point to Prue and Salazar, but Desert God now being challenged on the outside by Roberta, who is beginning to make his run on the outside. Desert God from Roberta just about half length separating these two, but Desert God still has that upper hand by about a length now in front of Roberta, but Desert God still has that length lead and is going to win the Tetrasoft Bangalore St. Leger Grade 2 from Roberta, finishing on second. Ending up third was Point to Prue. My Opinion. Salazar could only finish on fifth in fact, and ending up last was Reunion.
Your attention please. The top favorite for the 4th race is horse number 1, Desert God.
Your attention please. Results of the 4th race. Number 1, Desert God, first. Number 6, Roberta, second. Number 5, point to prove, third. Number 4, my opinion, fourth. Number 3, Salazar, fifth.
ನಾಲ್ಕನೇ ರೇಸಿನ ಫಲಿತಾಂಶಗಳು. ನಂಬರ್ 1 ಡೆಸರ್ಟ್ ಗಾಡ್ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸ್ಥಾನ. ನಂಬರ್ 6 ರೋಬೋಟಾ ಎರಡನೇ ಸ್ಥಾನ. ನಂಬರ್ 5 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮೂರನೇ ಸ್ಥಾನ. ನಂಬರ್ 4 ಮೈ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ ನಾಲ್ಕನೇ ಸ್ಥಾನ. ನಂಬರ್ 3 ಸಾಲಜಾರ್ ಐದನೇ ಸ್ಥಾನ.
Testing. Testing.
Your attention please. 1 by 3/4 of a length, 4 lengths, 1 length, 3 and 3/4 of a length. Time 3 minutes 0.277 seconds. I repeat, 3/4 of a length, 4 lengths, 1 length, 3 and 3/4 of a length. Time 3 minutes 0.277 seconds.
As they begin to approach the final turn and enter the final 400 meters for this Bangalore St. Leger sponsored by Tetrasoft, and behind them will be Reunion, then comes Point to Prove and Salazar, but Desert God now being challenged on the outside by Roberta, who's beginning to make his run on the outside. Desert God from Roberta just about halfway separating these two, but Desert God still has that upper hand by about a length now in front of Roberta, but Desert God still has that length lead and is going to win the Tetrasoft Bangalore St. Leger. Great two from Roberta finishing on second, ending up third was Point to Prove, my opinion. Salazar could only finish on fifth in fact, and ending up last was Reunion.
Your attention please, the white cone has been hoisted.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I request the chairman of the Bangalore Turf Club, Mr. V. Hari Munadi, to present a bouquet to Mr. Rama Ivani. Mr. Rama Ivani, CEO, Tetrasoft Inc., will present the Tetrasoft Inc. Bangalore St. Leger Grade 2, won by Desert God, owned by Radiant Bloodstock Private Limited, represented by Mrs. Sharmila Padmanabhan, Mr. S. Padmanabhan, and Colonel Sapan Badra. Desert God was trained by Mr. S. Padmanabhan. Ridden by jockey A. Sandesh. And Desert God was bred at the Kunigal Stud. You're all in. Starizada is an off the go for the Tetrasoft Inc. Bangalore St. Leger Grade 2 as they settle down, and it's Desert God the leader from Robert. That's the first two as they approach the 600-meter marker. My opinion is running third, Reunion, then comes Point to Prue, Salazar is running last. They take the first right-handed turn and approach the 400-meter marker for this Tetrasoft Inc. Bangalore St. Leger, with the Desert God heading the field close to about 2.5 in front of Roberta. 3 lengths behind is My Opinion. Reunion comes next. Behind them will be Point to Prue. Salazar is running last. They travel towards the grandstand for the first time, and it's Desert God by about a length in front of Roberta. Further 4 lengths behind is My Opinion, then comes Reunion, Point to Prue, and Salazar is taking the field. Passing the grandstand, approaching the 1800-meter marker, Desert God by about 2.25 in front of Roberta. 3 behind is My Opinion, Reunion, Point to Prue, Salazar in the order. They are racing in a single file as they approach the 1600-meter marker for this Tetrasoft Bangalore St. Leger, and it's still Desert God as the birds scatter out of the 1600. About 2.25 in front of Roberta. 3 behind is My Opinion, then comes Reunion, Point to Prue, and still tailing the field is Salazar. Going past the backstretch at the 1400, and Desert God has now stepped up the moment to over 3.5 in front of Roberta in second. My Opinion is identical distance behind. 2 behind comes the next is Reunion with Point to Prue, and Salazar is running last. They start climbing up the hill as they go away towards the 1000 meter marker. And Desert God it is, close to about 2 and a quarter in front as they are heading towards the 900 meter marker from Roberta, and second, 2 behind is My Opinion, another length and a quarter is Reunion with Point to Prove and Salazar as they are heading towards the 700 meter marker. Not much of an appreciable change in the order as the order remains the same with Desert God in a start to finish attempt by about 2.5, 3 in front of Roberta, and second My Opinion. Reunion sensing some urgency, starting to bridge the gap on the outside, making a forward as they begin to approach the final turn and enter the final 400 meters for this Bangalore St. Leger sponsored by Tetrasoft, and behind them will be Reunion, then comes Point to Prove and Salazar, but Desert God now being challenged on the outside by Roberta, who is beginning to make his run on the outside. Desert God from Roberta just about half length separating these two, but Desert God still has that upper hand by about a length now in front of Roberta, but Desert God still has that length lead and is going to win the Tetrasoft Bangalore St. Leger. Great two from Roberta, finishing on second. Ending up third was Point to Prove, My Opinion. Salazar could only finish on fifth in fact, and ending up last was Reunion.
Dividend for the fourth race. Exacta winner pool pays rupees 932 on 119 tickets. Exacta runner pool pays rupees 352 on 135 tickets. Trinilla winner pool pays rupees 282 on 243 tickets. Trinilla runner pool pays rupees 180 on 163 tickets. Forecast pool pays rupees 51 on winning combination 1 and 6. Quinilla pool pays rupees 28 on 1 and 6. Horse number 1 pays rupees 15 for win and rupees 12 for place. Horse number 6 pays rupees 19 for place. Second horse pool pays rupees 34 on horse number 6. Third horse pool pays rupees 37 on horse number 5. ನಾಲ್ಕನೇ ರೇಸಿನ ಡಿವಿಡೆಂಡ್ಗಳು ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿನ್ನರ್ ವಿಭಾಗ 932 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 119 ಟಿಕೆಟುಗಳಿಗೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ರನ್ನರ್ ವಿಭಾಗ 352 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 135 ಟಿಕೆಟುಗಳಿಗೆ. ಟ್ರಿನಿಲ್ಲಾ ವಿನ್ನರ್ ವಿಭಾಗ 282 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 243 ಟಿಕೆಟುಗಳಿಗೆ. ಟ್ರಿನಿಲ್ಲಾ ರನ್ನರ್ ವಿಭಾಗ 180 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 163 ಟಿಕೆಟುಗಳಿಗೆ. ಫೋರ್ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಭಾಗ 51 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 1 ಮತ್ತು 6ನೇ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಗೆ. ಕ್ವಿನಿಲ್ಲಾ ವಿಭಾಗ